Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Happy Tuesday! I'm finally live, and I'm only a minute later than the pushback time. So hey, that's pretty good. I hope you're ready for some shenanigans, because it's been a couple of weeks since I did a live, and it doesn't take much to get out of practice. So we will do the best we can and hope everything goes without a hitch. Har har. Let's see. Hi, Beth. I see your little face up there, but I'm trying to find, that's on my phone. I'm trying to find you. Oh, geez, I hope this is in the right place. Oh, yep, it is. There it is. Ta-da! Okay, I found the video. So hopefully when somebody comments, I'll be able to see the comments. So, take a deep breath, Lori. We can do this. Let me show you. We're going to be playing with this kit. You can see it kind of took a beating getting here. I try and get 2 to 3 kits so that it doesn't go in those little bitty mail boxes, those cluster boxes. Because just because it goes in the back of that mailbox doesn't mean it's coming out the front. So even by putting it in the big package box, it still got crushed. So let's take a look at this kit. Oh, if you're watching this on the replay via my YouTube channel, be sure to give my video a thumbs up and like and share the video, that whole algorithm thing. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel. So you can see I got bits and pieces here. So this kit, here I'll show you the stamp set, creates 9 cards. I think it's 9 cards. And they're fun folds. You get a package of, look at how wide that tear and tape is. Although I didn't use any of it. Well, but then again, I didn't make my cards the way you're supposed to. No, you make 8 cards. I was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 10 cards. I guess if I read the kit, I'd know how many cards came in it. But then again, I never make the cards up the way they're supposed to. But these die cuts are just to die for. Har, har, har. Look at this guy. Is he not beautiful? But he's missing his feet. I wish they would have put his feet on there. And then, of course, these other little birds. But the envelopes are what really caught my eye. This is something I'm saving for another project. Look at these envelopes. Aren't they pretty? They even got that shaded spruce foiling all the way around. So these would be really pretty on a layout too. Didn't use them on a layout. It comes with a full pack of dimensionals, because we always can use lots of dimensionals. And this ribbon. It just barely fits behind these guys here, which I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to leave this out over here so I don't forget. But these are the sentiment tags, and then more of those die cuts, more of those beautiful envelopes. And these are tri-fold cards. So it goes like, oops, this gets popped out. And then, fold it over on the score line. And then it opens like that. But of course, I didn't use it for that. And then this, I like this layer, but to me, it just didn't fit very well. But then again, that's my honest opinion. Let's move these over. And then here is the second one. And this is a layer we're going to use on another card. And see how it folds like that. Look at that foiling. Isn't that pretty? So let me show you what we're going to be making today. I'll put these away. And if you're new to Paper Pumpkin, it's our monthly subscription. Comes with an ink spot. This one is shaded spruce. And your very first kit, you'll get a block too, but it comes with printed tutorials on how to put your cards together. That is, if you're going to put them together the way you're supposed to. Not me. All right, let's set that aside. I should show you my layout first. I really like the way this turned out. Here it is. Now, growing up in California, we don't have cardinals, and I've only seen them twice in my life, all 63 years of my life. The first time was in Orlando when I went to On Stage celebrating Stampin' Up's 30th anniversary. And the second time was here in Maui. This was taken, we were getting ready to go. This was when I earned the incentive trip, which I guess I'm supposed to give you a disclaimer. Less than 1% of demonstrators earn the incentive trip, but I earned it that year. And I'm really glad I did, because we got to see Maui before the fire. So that was all devastating, but I was glad we were able to see it. But anyway, we were sitting there at breakfast one morning, getting ready to go on our excursion. And our excursion was snorkeling. So I was a little apprehensive. I get motion sickness going up in an elevator. So we're sitting there eating our breakfast, and up walks Shelly Gardner. She's one of the co-founders of Stampin' Up. I have to tell you, that woman is the most down-to-earth, humble, just a sweetheart of a lady. And she started talking to us like she'd known us forever, asked what we were doing, and I told her. And she gave me the motherly advice, and I mean, she sounded just like she could have been my mom, that I needed to make sure I kept something on my tummy so that I didn't get seasick, which I thought was very sweet. But shortly after she walked away from the table, I heard some bird chirping, and I looked up, and here was this guy, just sitting there. I snapped his picture, and then he looked down at me for the second one. But isn't that special? I just love these two pictures. I combined it with a piece of the Winterly Treetops. It's not called Winterly Treetops. It's Nests of Winter Designer Series paper. And a piece of gray granite. Some of that real red two-tone. As you can see, the piece of real red is torn. I found one day when I was at a yard sale a Stampin' Up ruler that helps you do just that. Because if I'm going to tear something, you're going to start this wide at the top and end up with about that wide at the bottom. So I don't kind of have the sticker there, but you can kind of see what this ruler looks like. So I've got all the measurements for this layout listed in today's blog post. I put a couple of tags up here, mainly because I'm hiding an oops behind those tags. And the ribbon I used was actually retired ribbon. It's real red, and this one's that shimmer gray granite. But when I have just a spool of something, half a spool, I always keep it for just in case, and this worked out perfectly. And then I used the stamp set from the kit for the splotches. This sentiment here is from the Snow Days stamp set, which it coordinates with the Snow Days scrapbooking workshop. And then my little lines here, I don't even remember where I found this, but it's another Stampin' Up from 2000. It's just for journaling. I love that stamp. And because I can't draw a straight line any more than I can tear it. So anyway, there is my layout. I had a good time with that one. Now I'll show you the 3 cards we're going to make. And I'll also show you, this was my Casing Tuesday this morning, using the Winterly Treetops and that, what is the name of that? It is the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. There's the inside. Isn't that pretty? I fussy cut one of the birds from the Designer Series paper. And then this is what we're going to make today. So we're going to make this one. And this is that layer I was showing you in that card base. Here it is. It was from this trifold, and this is where it got popped out of. So waste not, want not. You want to use everything, right? And then there's the inside. Here it, whoops, got to put it right side up. Here is another piece of that same card base. Oh, this is a different card base. This is the, I guess it is that card base because the, okay. This is the flap from that card base, and I die cut another one of those birds. There's the inside. And then last but not least, this is another one of those frames, and we're going to color that bird. I did color this ahead of time and die cut it, so you only have to wait for me to color that one. So let's get started with that. So I'll show you what we're, and I didn't cut this so that you could see how we're going to cut it. Here's our card base. Our card base is in Shaded Spruce. And see how this just pops right out? So I have another idea for this. I figured 3 was probably enough to get you through on this month. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut right at the 4 1/4 mark, the score line there. And then I'm gonna cut this one also, and then save that piece for something else. Now I actually want to trim this down to 4 inches. This one doesn't matter where you cut it at because it's, the pattern is all full-sided there. And that's 5 1/4. Now this one, to keep that opening centered, I'm going to trim about 1/8 of an inch off both sides because I want this to be, let's see, 3 3/4 by 5. I think I cut that too small. I did. Whoops. We did cut that too small. Good thing I have another one here. See, I told you there was going to be some shenanigans. Bless her heart. Let's try this again. And then I didn't even make it right at 1 o'clock. I had some stuff going on here with Chloe, so, but she's good. All right, so now we're going to make this 4 by 5 1/4. Now we got it. So I'm just cutting 1/8 off all 4 sides. Okay. That was tough, wasn't it? Okay. So now I have 2 different sizes of basic white. This 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 will be our inside layer. And this is 3 3/4 by 5, and it's going to fit just behind here. And I want to stamp, let's see, where did I put that? Oh, my trimmer's sitting on it. I'm going to stamp that bird, that cardinal, and we're going to stamp him in Memento ink. And I want to kind of judge where this is going to go. My blocks need to be cleaned. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp him right about there. Okay, perfect. And then let's cover that up so we don't end up putting our finger in it. And the next one I'm going to stamp is it looks like a fern, but it's actually a pine branch. And I'm going to stamp that in Shaded Spruce. But I want to mask part of it because this is going to fit right underneath there, and I don't want those pieces to impede on the bird. Let's see. I know I have my... Hang on. I was looking for my Scotch tape. It's probably sitting right out here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask those two branches right there. And I'm just going to go, this is too big. Told you I was out of practice. Ugh. So I'm going to put this right. I should have kept the piece that I had the other day. Let's go with this one. Just like so. I'm going to tuck that in so that that other branch or that other needle will stick out. There we go. Now we got it. Now ink it up. We want to make sure we remember to take the tape off. And I also want to stamp off because I don't want it to be real dark. Okay. I'm going to come under here like so and just stamp it just like that so it looks like he's standing on that branch. Let's get rid of this guy. And now we'll color him. I'm going to use the Real Red Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use, we'll start with, and that actually I want this so that when I color it doesn't bleed onto my mat. And I'm going to use the Pumpkin Pie for his beak and his feet. I'm just going to come in here just like so. They're such a regal looking bird. I guess the closest we have to a cardinal is a blue jay. I guess they're probably cousins. We'll go with that. Come down here. Just lay this color on, and then we'll come back in for some shading with the dark. These are our alcohol markers, which make blending colors real easy. Hence the name Stampin' Up! Blending markers. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and just give it a little bit of depth with some shadowing. When they create the images, you can usually tell where you want some of the darker images, the darker lines to go when you're coloring with alcohol markers, because they've got those shading lines in there. Okay, there's that. Now I'll color his beak and the little feet, which it's really kind of hard to see them. But when you color the feet, that helps cover up the branch that shows through. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're going to attach him to the back side of this, just like that. So I'm just going to add some Stampin' Seal just along here, because we're going to add that to the card front anyway. You'll probably use the tear and tape with this, but there we go. We're just going to add him right over there. And it doesn't matter if that's crooked over the other white layer because it's all going to be hidden. Okay, so now we'll add this to the front of the card. Just like so. There we go. Now this guy is colored with Old Olive, the Shaded Spruce, and more of the Real Red, but I didn't think it would be fair for you to sit and watch me color all that too. So we'll add some dimensionals on that. And I really like that they give us full sheets of this, of the dimensionals. Okay. And then we're just going to add this Okay, and I think I did. I forgot to put in a tag. But that's okay. We have tags right here. Okay. Now, let's see. This sentiment says, "Joyful thoughts to you this season." I thought that was a very pretty sentiment for the front of this card, and that beautiful cardinal. Just going to come in and stamp him right there. Isn't that pretty? I think I forgot some Stampin' Mist to clean my stamps. Let's just spray that on there. It's one nice thing about being at the back of the studio now. Everything is right here. I don't have to walk too far, except for Scotch tape, naturally. And I'll find that when I go to clean up. And then we're going to add him with dimensionals so that he fits right at the bottom of the card. Thanks, Beth. I really liked designing these cards. These were fun. Okay, and then for my bling, I am going to add some of the iridescent pearls because they didn't put any embellishments in there. I guess they thought with this foiling on the card bases that you really didn't need it, but they don't know me very well. So we're just going to add some pearls across the... I couldn't think of what this is called. I'm going to say garland, but I don't think that's right. I think there's another term for it. Of course, when you can't figure out what something is called and you try to Google it, it doesn't help you any. So, there we go. Let's put one right here. So, the card front's done. Then on the inside, I'm going to stamp, I think I stamped Happy Holidays. I did, and I don't think I did not attach that one. So we're going to use all the stamps except for that little splatter stamp, which I used that on my layout. But I do have a block here. Okay, so I'll ink that. Let's lay him straight, or as straight as we can get it. Okay, and then by cutting up the card base, it brings the outside of the card to the inside. Make sure that's nice and dry. I thought that made a pretty border, or a mat, I should say, not a border. All right, so we'll put him on the inside, and our first card is done. I thought that one might take the longest, but I guess not. Card one done. Such a pretty card. We'll set this aside. Now we'll work on this card. And I did already die cut everything so that it would make things go faster. So here's that other layer. Did I put that? Nope, we're going to use this one and this card here. So set that aside, and we're going to trim that card base too. So our card base is thick basic white, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5. I'm trying to clean up here while I talk. And it's scored at 4 1/4. Cracks me up how I can have so much room here and still be crammed. That's just me, I'm sure. Okay, so this guy, I'm just going to cut him off. Set him aside. Wouldn't that make a great frame on a layout with a picture inside? Okay, we're going to cut him here, and then I want to trim this to 4 by 5 1/4, and then this other layer we want it trimmed to 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. This one's pretty heavy with the branches at one side, so I think I'm still going to only cut 1/8 of an inch to try and keep it somewhat centered, since it has that opening there. Oh, we need this to be 5, not 4. Okay. So we'll cut this at 5 1/4 here. See, I made these over the weekend, so I'm trying to go back. All right, so there's 5. And now we need this to be 3 3/4. There we go. And that's done. Set this aside. And this will just get glued right on that layer. Okay. And we'll add it to the card front. It is definitely a versatile kit, Beth. And when you cut the cards up, then you're going to have more than the 10 cards. Although at this point, I'm still only using 1 envelope for each card that I've trimmed. Okay, so here's that die cut. And I thought these birds were so pretty that I didn't even need to apply or add any kind of a sentiment. That way you could use it for a winter birthday too. It doesn't have to be a Christmas card. I'll set that right here. And I thought the pearls kind of gave it a look of stars in the sky. Okay. Where did I put? Here it is, right here. So I'm just going to add 1 here. And let's put 1 up here. See how quick that goes together? Okay. So now I used the largest die from the Winterly Treetops to put in the inside, and the thought process was bringing the outside of the card to the inside. And I'm just going to add, you could use mini glue dots, but I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue just for time purposes. So it'd take a while to add mini glue dots everywhere. Okay. Set that aside. Now, try and get this centered in here as much as possible. Just like that. Oh, we missed popping out a piece here. There we go. Take your pick tool, comes in real handy, doesn't it? Okay, set him aside. Now, what did I put on the inside? I put Joyful Thoughts to You This Season. And it's in Night of Navy. And we're just going to stamp that right up here. There we go. Isn't that pretty? That's definitely something different for the inside of a card. I did this the other day. Welcome to live video. Let's take this guy off and flip him around. Only to me. Yes, we are full of shenanigans today. Okay. Make sure we do this right. Bless her heart. Okay. So we're going to layer that one. I will take my adhesive eraser to get that. Whoops. We'll get a new card base later. But that's what the card looks like. I am definitely out of practice. Definitely, definitely. Okay. Card 2. Or card 3, rather. Okay. So, this card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I cut off 2 1/8 off of the front. And I have a piece of white that's 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to randomly stamp the pine branches and the holly berries. And it's just, remember, part of it will be hidden behind that flap. And then we'll fill in with the berries in real red for your traditional red and green. Okay, so I've got the holly berries here, and I have the real red. I can't believe I did that on that card. Yes, I can. Let's come down here. I really like these little berries. They're cute. Let's put a little bit up here so it looks like it's kind of random, which it is. Okay, that's enough. And then we do want to add it to the inside layer. And I'm not going to stamp off because it's going to look like the pattern is continuing, if that makes any sense. Okay, so we'll come in here and we'll just add him like so. And then we'll add some berries. Let's go over here and add some more. There. Okay, so now I might as well leave that out because I need to stamp my sentiments, and I'm using the red and the green for that front sentiment. Let's get rid of all this stuff over here. So I have the Mary, I mounted them on separate blocks just to make it easier. And I'm going to stamp the Christmas first. That makes it easier to line up the Mary. Okay. And then the Mary is just going to fit right over the top. There. I like it in the two-tone. Now, let's put this guy together. Let's close these up because we know where that's going to... Well, it might as well be it's open. Let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment. We're going to put that in the inside. Just going to stamp that right about there. That way the flap will cover it. Okay, we're done stamping. Now it's just a matter of putting this all together. Just gonna, nope, I need to trim this guy down. So he's going to be trimmed down to 3 by 4 because my red is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Make sure that's the case. Yes, it is. Okay, so just trim this to 3 by 4. Now, whoops, now we're done with the trimmer. It's like a bull in a china shop over here. So we'll add this to the red layer. Just like this. Okay. Now, we'll add him to the inside. Like so. I'll add this to that front flap. And he fits in there just like so. This guy, you only want to add adhesive on the left side so that you don't close up your card. I'll layer him on here. So technically you could leave that blank. And then here's my little bird. Isn't he cute? He's die cut from the Nest of Winter Designer Series paper. I guess I should show you that paper. It's really pretty. I'm going to put him up at the top. put our sentiment tag on the bottom. Make sure we get them on the right, going the right. Oh, you know what I did forget? Hang tight. I forgot the little piece of ribbon. And those pieces of ribbon just barely cover the tag. They should have had a little bit more on there, but what are you going to do? And it's really nice grow, you know, that kind of ribbon. Grow grain. There we go. So I want to try and make sure I get that centered. All right, now we'll put on dimensionals. Right onto the ribbon. I don't know. I think we should have had it a little longer. Okay. Set him there. I'm going to move this over and bring in some more of the pearls. I love these iridescent pearls. And add another one here. Oops. And another one here. And we're done. It wasn't too painful, was it? All right. So there's our 3 cards. 2. Where did the other ones go? Where did I set my other? Here's the one for the Casing Tuesday. I cleaned up my mess and I cleaned up my cards. What the heck did I do? It's probably sitting right out here, right? So 1, 2. Oh, okay. I know it's sitting here somewhere. It's the one that I gotta fix later, right? She's such a hot mess today. I should have practiced since I hadn't done it for so long. All right, well, at least I've got pictures on my blog post today. So, goodness gracious. Here's that paper. We'll take a quick look. This is the sheet that you can die cut. And this is the sheet. Look at, isn't that beautiful Christmas? And the one that I fussy cut on my Casing Tuesday card is right there. So yeah, there we go. Wow. I know as soon as I sign off, oh, here they are right here. See, I knew they were sitting there. Okay, so what do you think? Besides the fact that she's a hot mess. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Beth, you're right. Cutting that piece of ribbon in half and splitting it will make it look longer. I didn't think of that. Good idea. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by today and being patient with me. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great afternoon. I finished my blog post. I just have to link it to this video and then I'll upload it to my YouTube channel. Have a great afternoon and I will catch you later. Bye.